As we move forward on Operation Epic Surrender by Donald Trump, and it is widely criticized by anyone with a brain, Donald Trump is increasingly furious. Trump erupted overnight at 4 a.m. after the brutal destruction of whatever he was trying to do in Iran, stroking out at 4:32 a.m. on Truth Social. And he is right to recognize that people aren't falling for this crap. Trump throwing a tantrum at 4:32, apparently after being up all night watching criticism, even from his own allies here in the United States, posting to Truth Social, quote, "These fools who think I haven't been tough enough on Iran when the stock market just hit a record high and oil prices are tumbling down are either jealous, bad people, or stupid. Make America great again, President Donald J. Trump." You know, even Bari Weiss's CBS is reporting the Obama nuclear deal and Trump's letter are basically the same, except now Iran gets not only sanctions relief to a greater degree than they got from the Obama deal, they also get access to this $300 billion reparations fund. Writing, quote, "Both deals ban Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons, but the JCPOA, meaning the Obama deal, was far more specific about how." Trump signing the surrender at Versailles. These are very interesting optics because Versailles is World War I and World War II history buffs or whatever, you don't even, just people who are a little bit aware about World War I may remember that Versailles is sort of associated with surrender because the 1919 peace treaty, the Treaty of Versailles to end World War I, was signed there. Germany had lost. They were forced to accept terrible punitive terms, territorial losses under the threat of an Allied invasion. And so the optics of Donald Trump signing this thing at Versailles only sort of reinforce the optics of surrender. And look at little Marco Rubio standing behind Trump like this is something good.
This is Dorothy. Yes.
Bravo.
Make sure to keep the pens he used to sign the surrender. Those are really good keepsakes.
Good job. Great job.
Now, just a reminder, Donald Trump, despite all of this, all the pomp and the circumstance, Trump leaves the door open to Iran enriching uranium. And Trump goes, listen, adjoining states have it. Other people have it. You got to maybe let them do it.
We've been pretty tough in that. You know, it is a little hard, though, when you say that somebody wants it, other people have it, other adjoining states have it, and you're not letting them have it for purposes of electricity and things like that. It's always a little tough. You have to use a little common sense, please.
It's sort of like diplomatic, but mommy, he gets to play with the toy. Why don't I? Now, remember Donald Trump tweeting back in 2017, quote, "Iran was on its last legs and ready to collapse until the U.S. came along and gave it a lifeline in the form of the Iran deal, $150 billion. But that was Obama. That's completely different.
Obama.
It's different in that it was Obama. It's not different substantively. It's not different in terms of like, listen, sanctions relief is sanctions relief no matter which president does it. And it's not just Trump. Whoa, sorry to interrupt for 2 seconds. If you're enjoying the channel and haven't subscribed yet, great time to do it is right now. One click, no commitment, lets me keep doing what I'm doing. Back to the clip. Here is Senator Roger Marshall saying, listen, they've got to have some missiles, right? They do? Where were these people when Barack Obama signed the JCPOA in 2015? Where were these people when Trump terminated the JCPOA in 2018 because it was too weak? No, but now, listen, it's only fair. They got to have some missiles. And by the way, to defend themselves from who? From us? They need missiles? What on earth is this guy talking about?
Senator, are you okay with Iran having missiles? You know, I'm hesitating. I prefer that they not. I certainly don't want them to have long-distance missiles. I don't want them to have nuclear-armed missiles. I would prefer they didn't. But I don't think that's the key issue here. I think that they have to be able to defend themselves. And I just kind of come back to the big picture here, is that the Middle East countries like this agreement.
You think Iran needs to be able to defend itself?
I do. I think that they have to be able to defend themselves. Otherwise, we turn this into a forever war.
Against who, though, right? I mean, like, that's the funny thing. We're the ones attacking Iran. And now Trump's going, no, like, they should have some missiles for defense to defend themselves against your next attack on them.
You're never going to get them short of boots on the ground of surrendering everything, an unconditional agreement, if you will. But again, what I'm getting at here is this agreement has the support of most of the countries in the Middle East, and I think that's going to give it more of a long-lasting relationship, a long-lasting success as well.
Now, this whole line that they've come up with, it's a very cute line. The Middle Eastern countries support this thing. There is not a shred of evidence that the Middle East countries support this thing because of anything specific about the agreement. It's not that the Middle East countries go, no, listen, we think Qatar loves the agreement because Iran gets to have some missiles. That's ridiculous. These Middle Eastern countries whose primary interest is economic stability have an urgent situation where Trump is so unhinged and so erratic and started this optional war that wrecked a whole bunch of their business that they just want any way to get the hostilities to stop. They're desperate for the hostilities to stop. It's not about the specifics of the deal. And they keep going back to this very cute line about, if this is such a bad deal, why do the Middle East countries support it? They support it because they think Trump's insane. And in fact, there is reporting that Iran used Donald Trump's, quote, mental illnesses against him in these very negotiations. This is stunning. It is stunning that this is now where we're at. It's only fair that they get to do some enrichment. It's only fair that and listen, I'm not even arguing that there should be, these countries are allowed and these are. I'm just comparing to the standards Donald Trump established and the standards dating back to the JCPOA of 2015 that he said must be the red lines. And now they're walking all over Donald Trump's red lines.